same army. About 30% join the Imperial Army, and 10% go to a provincial force. Students who are best friends one day might find themselves enemies the next.
Rain.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill your happy mood like this. But I'm sure you're well aware of what may lie ahead. That we're teetering on the brink of an era of upheaval.
I'm aware.
Does this have something to do with the issues in Crossbell I've been hearing?
Yes, amongst other things. It seems as though everyone on the continent is ready to go to war with everyone else. But that's why it's so important that we're able to stand strong no matter what happens. Though, judging by how well Class 7 has performed on their field studies, I'm sure you'll all be fine in that regard. Here's hoping that I get the chance to help you out again sometime, even if I'll have to be careful not to draw the ire of that instructor of yours while I'm doing so.
I'm just glad to know that you have her back. Thank you for that.
You're quite well... Please, excuse me a moment. Yes, Revelt speaking. What?
What's going on?
And you're certain of this? Understood. I'll return at once. Yes, I will escort them back to Valflame Palace myself. I'm afraid I have to excuse myself.
I'm really sorry, Elise. My brothers requested that we return to Heimdall right away, but as we're going back by car, I thought I'd offer you a ride home. But...
Elise, I think you should go back with them for now. I'll call you later to make sure you're okay.
Well, all right.
Sorry to drop this on you so quickly, Rain. I'm sure someone from the Academy will fill you in shortly.
Fill me in? On what?
If you'll excuse us.
Don't worry. We'll be sure to get Elise back to the Academy safely.
Does anyone have any idea what's going on?
I'm afraid not. I've never seen Father behave like that before.
My mother's the same way. She got a message of some kind and just changed.
Ditto my father. I think it was someone from Heimdall who got in touch with him.
One thing is certain. Something terrible has happened.
My dad turned pale and was gone before I could ask what happened. It sounded like he received a report from Instructor Neidhart, though.
Hold on. Neidhart's supposed to be... He was at Corellia Fortress with the 4th Armored Division on some sort of mission, right?
Speaking of which, has anyone seen Toa or Instructor Sarah?
Students and visitors, I cannot thank you enough for your attendance today. I hereby proclaim the 127th Thor's Military Academy Festival complete. But I am afraid I must announce this with a heavy heart, as we have just received word from the Imperial government that this evening, Garrelia Fortress, which rests on the eastern border of the Empire, has been destroyed. No, destruction is an inadequate word. An unknown weapon has erased the fortress in its entirety from existence. I would ask that all of our guests, from that region or otherwise, please try to remain calm.
I can't take this anymore! Where is she? Homeroom was supposed to start ages ago.
I'm not surprised she's late. The instructors are probably all busy trying to figure out what to do.
That seems more than likely. This morning's meeting has already blown past its normal ending time.
It's still hard for me to believe all of this is really happening. Having been there, the idea that Garrelia Fortress just vanished is difficult to comprehend.
Not all of it, I heard. There are still some parts left and almost untouched. But Instructor Neidhart making it out of there alive was nothing short of a miracle, though.
Those huge railway guns were part of the section that's gone, too. If I hadn't seen the pictures, it'd be kind of hard to believe.
What kind of weapon is even capable of doing something like that? I find myself doubtful that any human could create something so powerful.
We just don't know.
All we do know is that it's impossible to make a weapon that powerful even with today's most advanced orbital technology.
And yet here we are, with just such a weapon in the hands of what's always been seen as a mere vassal state. The Imperial Army has their work cut out for them, I'll say that much.
I'm worried about what's going on in the capital, too. It sounds like there have been even more demonstrations going on there these past few days.
Down with Crossbell, they say. Point our guns towards the east.
Is there even any truth to those rumors that Calvert's planning an invasion?
I'm pretty sure it's all nonsense. But considering how there have been tensions between us and them for years, people are just more inclined to believe it.
Rumors are just that. We need to be careful not to be misled by half-truths and speculation. If possible, we should find out exactly what's happening for ourselves.
Yeah. Over the year, we've seen how things are across the Empire with our own eyes. Now's as good a time as any to put that knowledge to use.
Well said. We've had quite the education in getting to the truth behind all the headlines.
That seems to have been a running theme of most of our field studies.
Still, we seem to be missing two of our illustrious members.
Well, there's nothing strange about Crow's habitual truancy. Or did he already transfer back to his original class?
No. He said he was going to be with us through the end of the month. As for Million, though, I'm not sure.
You don't think it's something to do with the intelligence division, do you?
Well, she is an agent of theirs.
It's kind of easy to forget that, given how she usually is.
It does concern me that none of us have seen her.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, Instructor.
Are we starting homeroom?
not today, I'm afraid. All classes have been canceled. You can either stay here in the building and study until school's out, or go back to the dorm.
So, wait.
Has something happened?
Not yet, but it will. Chancellor Osborn's going to be addressing the nation from Dreikel's Plaza at noon. It's set to be broadcast across the entire Empire.
A national address?
Sounds pretty serious.
And given the timing...
Indeed. It's not hard to imagine what's on his agenda.
Come on, guys. Straighten up. You're students of Thor's Military Academy, and that makes you all cadets. Whatever careers you choose, military or civilian, you need to know how to act decisively in an emergency. So right now, I don't want you to look away from what's happening in the world. I want you to face it straight.
Will do.
You're right. Now's not the time to lose heart.
As for Osborn's speech, apparently we'll be setting up radios in each classroom so the students can listen to the national address. So if you want to follow along, be sure to be back here by noon.
I suppose I might as well listen to it here then.
Same here. I don't even have a radio.
I do, but for something like this, I'd rather not listen to it alone.
Well then, we can all share in the joy of hearing the melodious voice of our esteemed Chancellor. Maybe I should haul in some beer and snacks. It's the only way I'll stay sane through the entire broadcast.
What should we do about Crow and Milliam, though? None of us have seen either of them all day.
Do you know where they are?
Can't say I do. Crow's practically made a career out of playing hooky, but I did see Milliam earlier this morning.
Oh, so she's still on campus?
At least that means she wasn't called away by the intelligence division.
I'd been thinking along those lines, but when I asked her, she just shrugged and said, "No news from the top." I doubt she's wandered off too far.
Yes, but lest you forget, she excels at giving us the runaround.
At least it doesn't sound like she's in trouble. We're probably worried over nothing.
We'll just have to tell them we're meeting here at noon if we run into them before then.
Yeah, will do.
I guess everyone's going to check in with their clubs. Looks like I have some free time. Might as well see if I can track down Crow and Milliam. At least it sounds like Milliam is probably somewhere on campus. Crow, though? He could be anywhere. Probably best to check with Toa and George first. Maybe they know something.
I still can't believe there's a weapon out there powerful enough to level Garrelia Fortress like that. I didn't think you could get much more powerful than those railway guns.
Yeah, having seen the railway guns in person, I can hardly believe it myself. There are rumors that whatever that weapon is, it's managed to fend off the armored divisions several times, too.
Still, can't help but wonder what the Chancellor's gonna say in his national address. Whatever it is, I have a feeling that it's gonna shake up some things around here. This is a military academy, after all. Who knows? We might even see active duty. Even as an engineer, I doubt they'd make an exception for me. Could be that my lazy days tinkering with orbital bikes are numbered.
Don't say that, George.
Well, no point stressing out too much about the future till we're there. Didn't mean to be a downer about it. Go on and listen to the broadcast, but don't worry yourself too much. This country may go through a lot in the coming years, but ultimately, we have a say in our future.
That's a good way to look at it. I don't want to look away from what's happening. We have to be aware of our present to take charge of our future. But anyway, you wouldn't happen to know where Crow is, would you? He hasn't shown up to class today.
Crow? Can't say that I do. He came by yesterday with a box of things he'd borrowed from me, but he never mentioned having any plans today.
Dang. Anyway, I'll keep asking around to see if anyone else knows where he is.
Well, knowing Crow, he's probably just wandering around somewhere. Just keep looking around and I'm sure you'll run into him.
Will do. I figured I could find you here.
Yep. The student council will be passing out radios for every classroom, so I'm trying to figure that out at the moment. Are you guys planning on listening to the Chancellor's statement too?
How could we not? He's supposed to be addressing the entire country after all.
Yeah. Whatever it's about, it's going to be something big. I don't think anyone could have imagined the relationship between Crossbow and Aragonia going south like this. I sure hope Angie's okay. What with all of this political turmoil right now.
Toa.
Sorry about that. I'm the student council president. I need to stay focused on what's going on right here, right now. Angie would laugh at me if she could see me getting distracted over her anyway.
That's right. We've got to focus on getting through this. Still, don't try to take on more than you can handle. I'm not the only one ready to give you a hand if you need it.
Will do. Thanks. Oh yeah, why were you looking for me in the first place?
Right. I almost forgot. Do you have any idea where Crow might have gone?
Crow? Nope. I'm afraid not. He didn't mention that he had to go anywhere when I talked to him yesterday, at least.
Was yesterday the last time you saw him?
Yeah. He was giving me back some of the stuff he borrowed from me since graduation's getting so close. That was nice of him, but then he gave me everything he borrowed from Angie, too. It's only polite to give back the stuff you borrowed in person. Now it's more work for me.
Well, that's a very Crow thing to do. Well, I'll keep asking around and find out if anyone knows where he's gone.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, but make sure you're back in your classroom by noon, okay?
Of course. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened here in the old schoolhouse ever since that night. We kind of ended up pushing it to the back of our minds, what with the way things have been going in Crossbell. Huh? It's unlocked. I wonder if someone's already inside. George is in the engineering building right now, so it can't be him. If any of the students just idly wandered in here, they'd be in real danger. I should probably take a look inside, just in case. I checked around inside of the old schoolhouse, but there didn't seem to be anyone around. But all the same, I didn't want a chance leaving anyone down there, so I decided to check the 7th floor. Milliam?
Oh, Rean! Come to take a sneak peek too?
Is this where you've been the whole time? You do know we have class, right?
Oh. Dang, I knew I was forgetting something.
Honestly. So, what's piqued your interest? It doesn't look like this thing has anything in common with Aragetlum.
I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that it might, at least a little. Not the same, but like they share some kind of underlying principle.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
I guess you wouldn't really understand without being connected. But now it makes sense why Gramps asked me to keep an eye on this place, though. I had no idea there'd be something this cool down here.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Chancellor Osborn? Did he know there was something like this here?
Not really sure. He just asked me to keep an eye on the building itself. And said to let him know if anything unusual happened. Whoopsie! That was supposed to be confidential.
So, the Chancellor has an interest in our quaint old schoolhouse, does he? We did just find out that Captain Claire is a Thor's graduate, but...
Hey, what you thinking about?
Say, Milliam... Was investigating the old schoolhouse the reason you enrolled at the academy?
Well, sorta, but it was more of a side thing. There was a more important reason, but that kinda stopped being a concern. So I guess it's just this now.
Something more important than this? Not sure what she's getting at. Doesn't sound like she's trying to hide something important from me, though.
Oh yeah! It's almost time for Gramps' speech, isn't it? I guess I should head back and listen to him drone on.
Oh, so you already knew about that. We were all planning to listen in the classroom.
Sweet! I'll just listen with you guys then. What are we waiting for? Let's go!
Nothing keeps you down for long, does it? Oh yeah, you haven't seen Crow around anywhere, have you?
Huh? Nope. Is he cutting class too?
Well, he's probably just hiding out somewhere on campus. None of the others have seen him, though. I wonder if he went into town.
Huh. Maybe. Want to try looking around, Trista? I'll come with you.
Sounds like a good idea. If he's not on the school grounds, chances are he's somewhere in town. All right, let's see if we can find him.
Yes, sir! Okay, so are we gonna track down Crow?
Might as well. I guess we should start with the dorms first. Maybe Sharon knows where he's gone.
Okie dokie!
wasn't expecting to see either of you back so early. Well...
Hello again, Sharon?
We're back!
Oh, it seems all of your classes have been cancelled today. I heard from Lady Sarah that you would be remaining on the campus, though.
Well, that was the plan. Say, Crow hasn't been back here, has he?
Master Crow? Well, actually, he just returned a short while ago.
Oh, he did?
Indeed. However, I don't believe he stayed long. It seems he was here just long enough to go to his room, then he left again.
Sounds like we just missed him. Maybe he forgot something here and came back to pick it up?
I don't know. Should we check his room just in case?
Yeah, might as well while we're here.
Well, if you need anything, just let me know.
Looks like he did go out then. Still, don't you think his room's awfully... tidy? I mean, for Crow.
Well, he was supposed to be moving out of here fairly soon. He must have been doing some cleaning. Anyway, it's almost noon. I guess we just have to head back to the classroom empty-handed for now.
Yep, it's almost time for Gramps' speech. Still, I wonder where Crow went.
Yeah. There's nowhere else around here I haven't checked, is there?
Oh, it's you.
Patrick, what are you doing here? I thought you would have gone back home.
Well, we don't have any classes today, so I was just resting in my room. Sure, I've been told to return home. Repeatedly at this point. But as a member of the Four Great Houses, what dignity would I have were I to turn tail and run home at a time like this? Don't underestimate me, Schwarzer.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't dream of it. Is Class 1 planning on listening to the National Address too?
We are. Personally, I can't stand the man, but we are in the middle of a national crisis. Those of us who elected to remain at the Academy are having a radio set up to hear the broadcast together.
Right.
You've got some strange classmates, though. Especially that second year. I know Heimdall's not all that far from Trista, but I'm not sure why he'd bother going to hear the speech in person.
What are you talking about?
That Crow fellow. I met him outside the station this morning.
Huh. Really?
Oh, he didn't tell you? When I inquired, he said he wanted to hear the Chancellor's speech in person.
Huh. I wouldn't have expected him to suddenly take an interest in politics. Well, at least we know where he went now.
I haven't a clue what you're babbling on about. Anyway, it's almost noon now. Shouldn't you be running along? You'll miss the broadcast.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's get going, Milliam. Everyone else is waiting in the classroom.
Okay.
The clock's about to strike noon in Heimdall, with the Chancellor set to take the stage for his national address. With the situation in Crossbell and the destruction of Gorelia Fortress still fresh in the national consciousness, the message he has today will undoubtedly shape the future of Erebonia and with it, our lives. Our reporter is joining us now, live from Dreikel's Plaza.
Sounds like he's about to start.
Oh, I hate this. I've got butterflies in my stomach.
This is Misty, coming to you live from Heimdall.
Huh? Why is Misty...
Oh, it's the host from Abentime.
At least that's a reassuring voice to hear at a time like this.
How?
Mama?
What's wrong?
The woman talking on the radio, you all know her?
Who, Misty? Of course. She hosts the radio show Abend Time every Sunday night at 9.
I've seen her out and about in Trista, too. She always looks so fashionable. Though, considering Abend Time is broadcast by Radio Trista, it makes sense that's where she'd be.
Huh?
Do you know her or something?
The Chancellor's standing at the podium, and it looks like he's about ready to begin. Let's hear what he has to say.
Citizens of Heimdall, fellow countrymen, Erebonians far and wide, I thank you for your attention. I am Gileath Osborne, your Chancellor and the acting representative of the Imperial Government. We stand today in the face of an uncertain future. All of you, I'm sure, are aware of what has transpired in recent weeks. Crossbell, our erstwhile province, has defiantly declared its independence, and as its parting shot, frozen the assets entrusted to them by the hard-working men and women of Erebonia. As we have moved to safeguard our national interests, armed conflicts have our enemies point to this as an example of Erebonian aggression. But nothing could be further from the truth. We acted in accordance with our duties as a colonial power. All we have done as is our sovereign right. The Imperial hand may be firm, but it is fair. These traitors, however, have shown the world that they are neither. With an unknown weapon of mass destruction, they have annihilated Garrelia Fortress, the stronghold that has long protected the very gates of this country. I ask you, brothers and sisters of the Empire, do we allow such an odious act to go unpunished? Do we sit idle as the pride and dignity of our great nation is spat upon and trampled underfoot? We cannot. We must not. And we will not. With blood and with iron, we shall mete out justice.
Listen to him go.
Well, he's quite the orator, that's for sure.
Well, he's certainly not out to upend my expectations.
Millium? What are you doing?
Nope, can't get through. No surprise there, I guess.
Who are you trying to call?
What is all this about?
Oh, it's part of my mission. The most important part, actually. If only I'd caught on a little sooner. But considering he managed to outwit Claire, Lecter, and even Gramps, I suppose Crow's earned this victory.
What? What does Crow have to do with this?
Huh. So that's your angle. You came because you had a potential lead on C, and you couldn't look into it from the outside. Is that it?
What?
As in the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front?
But he's dead, isn't he?
The Intelligence Division looked at all of C's actions so far and drew up a list of potential suspects. And one possibility we couldn't dismiss was that he had ties to this academy somehow. But after C and his cronies got blown up aboard their airship in the mine, we thought it was a moot point. Looks like we spoke too soon, though. I can't believe how bad we screwed this up.
Are you seriously suggesting that it's Crow? That it's been him all along?
Crow was with us in the mine right up until he went with the miners to escort them back to the surface, right?
Yeah, and then his route back ended up blocked off by a cave-in, so he wasn't able to reach us until later.
But what if he actually used another route to get there ahead of us?
then fought us wearing that masked helmet and cape.
Before making it look like he boarded the airship, then sneaking back around to join the others like nothing happened.
Madness. No one would stake their entire plan on such a precarious stunt.
Perhaps we can read the evidence that way, but there are a few leaps in logic that bother me.
Besides, remember when the terrorists escaped from Gorelia Fortress? We heard C talking to us, and not just then. He was addressing us just before the airship exploded in the mine, too.
That's true, on both counts.
And Crow was with us the whole time during everything that went down in Gorelia. He never left our sight.
Right. No mistaking it.
My name is Seath, leader of the Imperial Liberation Front. The Hammer of Judgment shall fall again. I'm ready. Are you?
Yeah, there's no way he could be...
He could have recorded a message in advance and played it back.
Oh.
And the airship that exploded? It could have been controlled remotely. His alibi seems airtight. But...
Yep. And if C's still alive, that means the other ringleaders probably are too.
Then right now, Crow is...
Oh no.
He said he was headed to Drykel's Plaza, didn't he?
If a skilled sniper has their eye on you, you let your guard down for even a second and bang, you're dead. If he's the one who shot down the airship in the mine...
Then it's checkmate for the Chancellor. Crow's already won.
We stand at the brink of nothing less than a national crisis. In such tumultuous times, we must set aside our differences. We must look past the ideologies that divide us. I will not deny the rift that has grown between the reformist and noble factions, especially in recent times. But how childish, how insignificant such squabbles seem when the enemy marshals its strength beyond our borders. I have met with His Majesty the Emperor, and have secured permission to embark on the course we now must. Thus, in the name of the Emperor, and as the representative of the Imperial Government, I hereby proclaim that the Empire's full military might shall be gathered together from all branches and divisions to deliver unto Crossbell a swift response to their impudence and to form a bulwark against the threat from the eastern.
Go finish your speech in hell.
Well played, Armbrust.
Well, that was anticlimactic. And there's our coup de grace. Now, just have to add the finishing touches.
Hands in the air!
It really was you all along. To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, and here I thought I'd managed to cover my tracks like a real pro. So, who put all the pieces together? I bet it was Arundel, wasn't it?
We just received confirmation a short while ago. If you hadn't been so difficult to pin down, we would have had this investigation finished up already. How could you? How could you?
You know, this really brings back the memories. It's a lot like when Jirai was annexed by the Empire 8 years ago. You let your guard down, you lose. That's how your boss's favorite little game works, isn't it? Well, he lost. And now he won't be playing any of his games again. Ever.
Get on the ground!
I don't know how you managed to plan all of this, but you'll tell us eventually. I'll see to that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just witnessed a shocking turn of events. Chancellor Osborne has been shot by an unknown assailant. He's currently being rushed into urgent care. We'll bring you more on the situation as it develops.
What is that? It's coming closer.
It looks like we may not be out of the woods yet, folks. A large silver craft has been sighted in the sky to the south, and it seems to be headed toward the capital. But hearing a radio broadcast just isn't the same as seeing it unfold yourselves, is it? So how about I give you Thor students a special treat? Just my way of saying thanks for the fun I had at the festival.
Wait, what's she talking about?
Was she speaking directly to us just now?
Resound, resound, O voice everlasting! Rend night's silent veil and reveal unto all the beautiful world!
Isn't that the plaza in Heimdall?
This is one of the Azure Abyss's incantations, Phantasmagoria!
What is that thing?